Before any intimate moment, the decision to slow down and prepare your body is an act of power, not hesitation. Too often, people rush into physical habits without considering the emotional and physiological buildup that shapes the result. When you take a moment to breathe deeply, you tell your nervous system that this experience matters and deserves your full awareness. Intention is the difference between repetition and transformation, between going through motions and feeling fully alive. Your body responds to the signals you give it, and intention is one of the strongest signals you can send. When you choose to pause before acting, you reclaim control over your energy instead of letting impulse dictate your rhythm. That pause becomes the foundation of confidence, clarity, and smoother physical performance. Think of intention as a warm-up for your mind, your breath, and your body. Treat the moment as a ritual, not a routine. This is where vitality begins. Hydration and nutrition are often overlooked, yet they play a subtle but powerful role in how your body feels and performs. Drinking water before a moment of intimacy can help your muscles relax, your circulation improve, and your focus sharpen. You're not just quenching thirst, you're giving your body the internal environment it needs to respond the way you want it to. Even something as simple as choosing a light, nourishing snack can shift your mood and energy. It tells your brain that you are preparing for an experience that requires presence, not pressure. These quiet choices build a steady sense of care that you start to feel from the inside out. They help calm anxiety and soften distractions that often interfere with pleasure and performance. When your body senses care, it mirrors that care back to you. Food and water aren't magic tricks, but they are signals of self-respect. And self-respect creates confidence long before touch does. Breathing deeply before you begin is one of the most underrated ways to elevate your physical and emotional state. Breath activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for calmness, clarity, and stable focus. When you breathe slowly and intentionally, you regulate your heartbeat and quiet internal noise. This shift prepares your body to respond more smoothly, more naturally, and with more control. Many people underestimate how much stress and shallow breathing interfere with sensation and performance. They think something is wrong with their body when the real issue is that they've never given their body permission to slow down. Breath becomes that permission slip. It centers you, grounds you, and brings your awareness fully into the present moment. When you are present, your body feels safer and more responsive. Breathing is not just a physical act. It is a form of communication between your mind and your body. And when that communication is calm and clear, you feel stronger, younger, and more confident. Setting intention also means separating the act from guilt, shame, or distraction that may have built up over years. Many adults carry silent tension around intimacy, even with themselves, and that tension affects physical responses more than they realize. By preparing your body with intention, you break that pattern and create a new emotional atmosphere. You remind yourself that your body is not an enemy to fight, but a companion to guide. That shift alone can transform the entire experience, restoring a sense of ease and youthful responsiveness. When you approach the moment with self-kindness, you release pressure and expectations that drain energy. This self-kindness creates a mental reset that your body immediately feels. It invites relaxation, sensitivity, and a sense of flow instead of force. Intention becomes a form of inner permission, permission to enjoy, permission to explore, permission to feel without judgment. This mental freedom often brings back sensations you thought you lost. The body remembers how to respond when the mind stops resisting. Preparing with intention teaches you to turn personal moments into opportunities for self-connection rather than escape. Instead of rushing for relief, you create space for awareness, sensation, and emotional grounding. That awareness sharpens your focus and elevates your experience, giving you a sense of control that feels empowering. You begin to move with rhythm instead of urgency, presence instead of autopilot. Every choice you make, your breath, your posture, your thoughts, starts to influence how your body responds. And when your body senses that you're fully engaged, it gives you a level of clarity and vitality that feels almost youthful. This is not about replicating the past, but reconnecting with a deeper, more intentional version of yourself. When you prepare your mind and body with care, you awaken a level of confidence that stays with you even after the moment ends. Intention becomes the key that unlocks a stronger, more energized version of you. Fueling your confidence begins long before the moment itself. and it starts with the choices you make about how you treat your body throughout the day. When you choose something nourishing before an intimate moment, you're not just giving your body energy, you giving your mind a message about your worth. That simple act quietly tells your nervous system, I deserve to feel strong, clear, and in control. Confidence is not built in dramatic bursts. It is built in small, intentional habits that shape your inner dialogue. Every time you choose something healthy over something harmful, you reinforce the belief that you are worth the extra effort. That belief begins to shift your posture, your mindset, and even the way you breathe. These small signals accumulate, shaping how grounded and capable you feel when you enter a personal moment. When you fuel yourself with care, your confidence rises from a deep internal place rather than a temporary emotional spike. And that internal strength changes the entire experience from the inside out. Most people think confidence comes from performance, but the truth is that performance comes from confidence, and confidence comes from preparation. When you take a moment to choose what you consume, how you breathe, and how you think, you're setting up a foundation for success before anything even begins. That preparation reduces anxiety, and when anxiety lowers, your physical response becomes smoother and more natural. The brain loves rituals. They signal safety, predictability, and emotional stability. When you create a pre-moment ritual, even a small one, you activate the part of your mind that says, I am ready and I am in charge. That belief alone can transform how you feel and how your body responds. Nourishing choices don't have to be dramatic. They just have to be intentional. A calm mind supports a responsive body, and a responsive body strengthens confidence. Over time, these habits combine to create a version of you that feels more capable, more alert, and more connected. This is how preparation becomes power. Choosing what you consume before an intimate moment is also a way of reclaiming your standards and refusing to settle for unprepared, rushed experiences. When you make a conscious choice to fuel your body with something that brings steady energy, you're rejecting the idea that you have to accept whatever state you happen to be in. You're saying, I want to feel good, and I'm willing to honor myself to make that happen. That mindset is transformative because it shifts you from passive participation into active ownership of your experience. Ownership is where confidence is born. It turns a private moment into a personal declaration of self-value. Instead of feeling like you must perform, you begin to feel like you're showing up for yourself. And when you show up for yourself consistently, you become more grounded and present. That presence becomes a form of strength, quiet, stable, and undeniable. Confidence grows when you treat yourself like someone worth preparing for, not someone rushing to escape stress. This choice becomes a daily reminder that you deserve quality, intention, and care. The ritual of fueling your confidence is ultimately about creating emotional alignment between your actions, your thoughts, and your physical state. When everything inside you is aligned, your body begins to cooperate in ways that feel natural and youthful. Stress lowers, clarity rises, and your sense of control strengthens. You begin to move with ease instead of tension, with certainty instead of self-doubt. Nourishing yourself before a moment of intimacy becomes a practice of self-leadership, deciding that your well-being comes first, no matter how small the habit may seem. These practices teach your body that you are not acting out of desperation or boredom, but out of a genuine desire to feel alive and connected. And when your mind and body feel supported, they work together rather than against each other. Fueling your confidence becomes a powerful loop. The more you care for yourself, the more confident you feel. And the more confident you feel, the more naturally your body responds. This is how intentional habits restore vitality from the inside out. Reclaiming your youth begins with reclaiming your focus, because focus is the anchor your body has been waiting for. When your mind is scattered, distracted, or stressed, your body mirrors that chaos in ways you can feel instantly. But when you choose to enter any intimate moment with clarity, presence, and intention, your body shifts into a different state, calmer, stronger, and far more responsive. Most people don't lose their youthful energy, they lose their ability to be fully present. Presence sharpens sensation, enhances control, and awakens the natural rhythm your body already knows. It brings you back into yourself, back into the moment, and back into the version of you that feels alive. When you stop rushing and start focusing, you give your nervous system permission to reset. That reset unlocks the kind of internal balance that feels like regained youth. And youth, at its core, is simply the experience of full engagement with life. Your body remembers how to feel energized, but it can only access that memory when your attention isn't pulled in 100 directions. Modern life trains the mind to multitask, but intimacy requires the total opposite, single tasking. The ability to bring your entire awareness to one experience is what transforms the moment from ordinary to empowering. When you focus fully, you strip away the noise that drains your vitality. You stop thinking about stress, deadlines, responsibilities, or worries that weigh you down. This mental clarity signals to your body that it can relax and respond naturally. With focus comes smoothness, steadiness, and a sense of youthful capability. You're no longer fighting your own thoughts, you're guiding your own energy. And when energy is guided rather than scattered, your body reveals sensations and strength you didn't realize were still available. Focus gives you back the parts of yourself you thought you lost with age. Feeling like 20 again is not about age. It's about the mental state you enter a moment with. When you reconnect with your breath, your senses, and your awareness, you step into the same mental space you had when life felt lighter and simpler. In youth, the mind was curious, open, and unburdened. Focus helps recreate that same psychological landscape. You bring back the spirit of exploration instead of expectation, presence instead of pressure. That psychological shift directly impacts your physical sensations because the mind and body are inseparable partners. When your thoughts slow down, your body speeds up its responsiveness. When your attention sharpens, your confidence rises. And when confidence rises, your body performs with a fluidity that feels incredibly familiar, like stepping into a younger version of yourself. Focus revives what age does not erase, the natural capacity to feel deeply and respond fully. Distraction is the enemy of youthful energy, and focus is its remedy. Every distracted thought takes a small piece of your vitality, but every moment of presence gives a piece back. When you commit to focusing deeply, you teach your brain to stop anticipating outcomes and start experiencing sensations. This shift reduces tension, which is one of the biggest blockers of responsiveness. Tension makes the body shut down. Focus makes it open up. As your mental grip loosens, your physical freedom expands. You stop thinking about performing and start experiencing the moment exactly as it is. This level of mental stillness creates a powerful physical ease. Your body becomes more cooperative, more sensitive, and more expressive without you forcing anything. That natural flow is what feels youthful. Not a number, not a memory, but a state of alignment between attention and sensation. Focus restores that alignment one breath at a time. Preparing for a moment with focus is ultimately an act of respect for your body and your experience. When you show up fully, with your mind clear and your awareness steady, your body responds by giving you more than you expect. You begin to rediscover the sensations, rhythms, and confidence that stress once dimmed. You realize that youth was never a physical condition, it was a mental posture. It was the ability to be here now without judgment or distraction. By reclaiming that focus, you tap into a reservoir of energy that never truly left. You only lost access to it. And every time you choose presence over pressure, your body thanks you by returning strength, clarity, and vitality. Through focus, you rebuild a connection with yourself that feels new and familiar at the same time. You stop chasing the past and instead awaken the youth that still lives within you, waiting for your attention to bring it forward. Your body responds to the way you speak to it, treat it, and show up for it. And honoring your body begins with the smallest decisions you make before any personal moment. When you choose rest instead of rushing, your body feels supported rather than pressured, and that support becomes a source of calm strength. When you nourish yourself with something light and steady, you signal to your nervous system that you value stability over stress. This internal message is more powerful than most people realize because the body mirrors the emotional tone you set. Respect creates relaxation, and relaxation creates responsiveness that feels effortless. Honor is not a grand gesture. It's the quiet choice to listen to what your body needs instead of forcing what you expect. When you approach yourself with patience, your body gives you ease instead of resistance. When you show yourself kindness, your body answers with energy instead of tension. These exchanges build trust inside you, trust between thought and sensation, between intention and response. And that trust becomes the foundation for the confidence you've been trying to reclaim. Your body is not working against you. It is waiting for you to work with it and that partnership. starts with compassion. Compassion softens stress, loosens rigidity, and makes space for natural rhythm to return. Too many people treat their bodies like machines that must perform on command, and that mindset drains vitality over time. But when you shift into a mindset of partnership, everything inside you reorganizes into harmony rather than conflict. This harmony allows your muscles, breath, and attention to align in a way that feels youthful and responsive. Every respectful choice you make tells your body you are safe, you are supported, and you can let go. Letting go is the secret, because tension is what steals sensitivity, energy, and presence. When tension drops, your natural flow rises, bringing back sensations you thought were gone. Your body wants to give you strength and clarity, but it needs your cooperation to do so. And cooperation begins with the decision to treat yourself like someone worth caring for. When you honor your body consistently, you begin to experience a deep internal shift that feels like reclaiming lost energy. This shift is subtle but undeniable, showing up in how you breathe, how you move, and how grounded you feel. Your body becomes more responsive, not because it changed overnight, but because you finally stopped fighting it. You replaced pressure with patience, forcing with understanding, and self-criticism with self-support. These emotional shifts open pathways in your nervous system that have been blocked by stress and expectation. As those pathways clear, your energy becomes smoother, your focus becomes steadier, and your sensations become sharper. This is how honoring your body transforms not only your experience, but your entire mental state. You begin to feel more connected to yourself, as if a part of you has woken up after years of being ignored. That awakening feels powerful because it reconnects you with the natural confidence that stress once buried. And that natural confidence is what makes you feel stronger and younger from the inside out. Honoring your body is ultimately about choosing alignment over struggle, presence over performance, and care over pressure. When you treat your body with respect, your body returns that respect in the form of energy, clarity, and steadiness. This reciprocity becomes a cycle of renewal, each moment building on the last until confidence becomes your norm. Your mindset shifts from, will my body respond, to, my body and I are working together. This partnership dissolves fear and replaces it with trust, turning uncertainty into flow. Through this flow, you experience a kind of internal rebirth, a return to ease, vitality, and self-assurance. You stop chasing the feeling of youth and start embodying it through the way you treat yourself. The more consistently you honor your body, the more naturally your body honors you in return. This becomes an ongoing exchange of energy, respect, and renewal that strengthens you on every level. And in that strength, you rediscover the version of yourself you were sure you had lost.